Well, we're live. And unfortunately, we didn't get to play the intro, but that's okay. Uh, we'll work that, we'll figure out that and work on it later.
Ba 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 ba. Ba
Although
da da.
it's Wednesday morning, and yep, it's Wednesday morning, caffeine. We are live, and one of these days I will get the setup right and or have someone who does it for me. But anyway, we are live on my profile on Facebook and on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. Both have live chats, which that reminds me I have to bring on the screen so that I will be able to see it. And as I said, we're live on Facebook and YouTube and any place else that can see it. Please share it if you like it, and share it if you don't, because that might get people to watch it just because you like it or you don't like it. But anyway, Randy, what's going on this morning?
All right, look at your share screen, please. We have to make this official, okay?
Oh, okay. We have to make what official? Oh,
You'll see.
hold on.
Hold on.
There it is. Okay,
There
hold
you
on.
go. Now
Hold
it's
on.
official.
Now it's official, but hold on
Now,
just a moment. There it is. Now it's official. I
now it's
feel so.
official.
I feel so much better.
I,
We
I,
are
I thought you would.
we are really pushing the Chromebook to do things that it was able to do at one time really well. But now it's old. Let's put it that way. It hasn't gotten updated since 2022, and this is
We're all old.
2025. So it, by computer standards, it's 3 years old. But we're here, and I'm Randy Rhodes, and there's Dave Woven on the opposite side of your screen.
Yeah.
And let's see, it's politics, news of the day, everything America, and generous dose of whatever comes out of our mouths and computer chips or coffee and computer chips. This next to your computer is a mistake because this is the infamous Bubba, and Bubba spilt, and Bubba does have a sippy cup lid, and when it hit, it popped open and it spilled. So
Oh,
please don't keep your caffeine next to your or your beverage next to your screen for very long. Uh, I'm going to reset up the desk anyway and find more space to safely keep the cup here. But anyway, Randy, what's up and
okay.
new and
So,
exciting?
so,
And
so we all know in 2 days, this is July 4th. And usually with July 4th, we have fireworks and all
we
kinds of
do,
neat things, except for in California. Could you please share my screen?
yeah. But you know the boogie with the bowl was fireworks 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Hold on.
Well, it's a warehouse full of fireworks,
Yep.
and now it's nothing. That's sad. That is sad. Those people in California are going to have to order from Amazon or something. Can you order fireworks from Amazon? I don't know.
I don't know. I want to say you probably can't, but knowing the great power of Amazon, you probably can. Uh,
I know you can order all kinds of stuff from Amazon. I used to work for Kmart back in the day.
Yeah.
Yes, I worked for Kmart back in the day. Back in the day
Okay.
when they used to have back in their sporting goods section, where they sold rifles and ammunition and licenses to go hunting and fishing. And I was kind of like I lost my one job I had, so I had to, I was married with kids, so I had to find something. So I got the job as a manager at Kmart, and the kids there knew more than I did about the damn guns and how to do licenses. So I just kind of sat there and looked stupid. But yeah, they had the back shot of the wall was loaded with all these rifles, and the bullets were right there underneath the countertop. So I often thought, my God, all you need is a guy to come in here with a pistol or something to hold up the sporting goods, and he walked out with all these bullets or these rifles, whatever. And I mean, they weren't kiddie rifles; they were regular hunting rifles, and rifles you can shoot and kill with. And I'm thought to myself, wow, this is a I'm not sure what happened afterwards, but eventually they lost they stopped selling for whatever reason. But speaking of
Back in
back
the
in the
day.
day when we were kids and we had, remember when you used to get bubble gum and inside the bubble gum was a baseball card?
Yeah, there was a baseball card, and yeah,
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 remember that?
there
And,
was a pack that sold gum with cards. There was
right.
also Bazooka, which came usually with a comic that you collected, and
Yeah.
it was like getting green stamps in your bubble gum. You collected comic strips, and then you could trade in so many for different stuff.
Well, I remember, the bubblegum smell was always on the baseball card. I love smelling the
Hmm.
baseball card, but I don't know why I never really collected them. And now, for those of you who were like me, who threw away the baseball card and just did the chewing gum thing, could you please share my screen?
Okay, hold on.
Look at the price of that baseball card,
That'll take a minute.
$425.
Okay, hold on. $425 for Ricky
This one,
Henderson from the Oakland A's.
this
Yep,
one, $900.
yep.
I
Yeah,
mean,
you would be surprised with how things from our youth
it
has
has gone up in price.
has gone up in
It,
price.
it's amazing when you think about it. And, we never really thought about, all these little things we used to get as a child, like your toy trucks, your Tonka trucks, the
Yep.
steel ones.
That
Um,
big yellow Tonka truck. Last time I
mhm.
checked, was worth like $1,500, and
And
I
get,
had one. And I'm sure if I did, it would be rusted
but
now,
there'd be a
and
buyer for it.
so I'd have to bring it to a Toyota. I mean, a Tonka truck body shop, or sell it to a collector who knew how to do it. I wouldn't trust myself trying to do it, but
Did
yeah,
you?
strange
Okay.
things that we collect.
When we first got married, soon after we got married, we were going through all my wife's stuff, trying to figure out what to keep and what because we were, merging two homes together, trying to figure out what to keep, what not to keep, and um, well, my wife had these Barbie dolls, right? Some were in boxes, some weren't, and I thought, what, let's see what they're worth, and they were worth a few $100. So we need the money because we just got married. So we sold them. But the lady said if we still had the original boxes, we could have made 2 to 3 times what the doll was worth without the box.
And if you
So
took a Barbie doll and transplanted Ken's head on it, you would get in trouble these days.
yep. Uh,
Anyway,
you know,
pardon
it,
my early lack of caffeine humor this morning.
yeah, it just goes to show you that the things we have as kids. Uh, what those things are worth today. Like the
Oh yeah.
old arcade games, the bing, 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 bing.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
Oh yeah, the Atari
The Atari.
2600, I think, which was the one that came with Pong and the tank game and the two sets of handles
Oh,
because
yeah.
you needed the gear shift to do tank battle. You needed the spinning one to play Pong and drive in any
Yeah, I
games.
love those.
And if you, yeah, from what I understand, that has significantly gone up in value, but in value to collectors that want to have one.
Right,
So
right. Obviously,
it's
everything.
not if it still works, I'm sure they will appreciate that, but they want to own one, not just for the enjoyment of owning one and not necessarily worry about it works.
Yeah, I started watching Pawn Stars again. I'm not sure if I'm
I
watching
do.
season 8. So I'm not sure if it's still on, but I'm watching season 8, and the stuff people bring in,
Yeah.
it's like you never would have thought that a Pawn Star guy like him would find a value to pay hundreds of dollars or even
Well,
more.
he's in Las Vegas, Nevada, so
Yeah,
odds are, the one thing he opts not to buy is the one thing someone's going to come in and ask and be willing to pay more
yeah.
than
Is that
than
a
he
doorbell?
than he might think. That's probably somebody on Messenger. I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
I will check it as soon as I
Um,
can. But the person I missed most from that show was Pops,
yeah,
the
yeah,
grandfather,
yeah.
uh, because Rick, in one episode a long time ago, bought an old Lincoln Continental
Yes, yes, I
and
saw that one.
fully restored it so it was beautiful, and then gave it to Pop for
No,
his birthday.
no, he was going to resell it, and
Oh,
Pop
okay.
said Pop made said some choice words, and he said,
Okay.
"No, I'm keeping this one." And he said, "No, Pops, we're going to sell this." He said, "No, I'm keeping this rig." And he opens up the car door, got it, and he said, "Pops, we're selling." He said, "No, this is mine," and he drives away.
Okay, yeah, I do remember it now, going going that way. And Pops didn't really, in the course of the series, take many things for himself
No,
that the store bought, and that car I think was of value because I think he had one or he
yeah, he
always
did. He
wanted one.
did. He had one. Wasn't as in wasn't as in good condition. And when he saw that one, he said, "Yeah, I have to add that one to my collection."
Oh
Now, I
yeah,
don't know. I don't know who has it now because he passed away. I know that there was some fighting over the wheel as to who gets what, who has control of the business, and so forth.
yeah,
So I don't know who wound up
yeah.
keeping the stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
Rick's son, I thought at one point left
yeah.
and was no longer a part of it, but then I believe he came back.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
it's money. I mean, they get paid just for showing up, then they get paid because they're partner in the business or whatever. Uh, I took notice that in season 8 so far, the fat dude, the young guy, what's his name? Um, the one they're always making fun of. What's
that's
his
what the
name?
beep was. It was Gmail letting me know that YouTube said we're live and Facebook
Oh,
said we're live.
yeah, I shared to my Facebook and I shared to YouTube. I tried sharing to X, but they kept asking me for my password. And I couldn't remember what damn password I used. But anyway, so yeah, so the fat dude, what's his name?
Chumley.
Chumley, yes. And that's pretty sad. We have to use a descriptive word like that to think of names. But yeah,
Well,
Chumley in season 8 so far, he must have had his hand slapped pretty good because he has not yet made an offer on his own. He always has to ask for someone else what you think the value of that thing is to offer a price for it. So
I think he
now,
was told that he had to do that because he was he was making offers to buy stuff for the pawn shop higher than they would have paid. So I think he got in trouble with Rick's son, and I think he got in trouble with Rick at one point. And then I guess he eventually earned the right on certain deals to offer what he thought was worth. But
I know they went on in season 8, I think episode 3, they went to this one guy's house who had this collection of basketball stuff. And he had like $750,000 in value of stuff that he wanted to sell. All these shoes with signatures, shirts with signatures, or shorts, everything, right?
yep,
And of course, Chumley thought that the owner was going to buy everything. And when he heard the price, he said, "No." He said, "We're going to pick through here, see what I want." And he wound up spending like 75 grand, I believe it was. But when they got, but Chumley grabbed a pair of sneakers that he wanted for himself because he has his own shoe collection. So as they're going out the door, he grabs one pair of shoes, like, these are mine, right? And as they got back to the shop, and they're going through all the stuff they bought, Chumley brings in his table, a wheel table with all this stuff on it, of his own personal stuff that he wanted to trade in value for the shoes. And Rick said no. He said, we're going to sell these. We're not keeping these, Chumley. He said, I'll sell them to you, Chumley. Well, how much do you want for them? And I think it's like $8,000. Look, he said, look, how about these? How about this? We're not doing a trade, Chumley. Yeah. That's how the episode ended. But it's funny. And to have the ability to just whip out your checkbook or cash and pay hundreds or thousands of dollars or something, and to think how they started, a pawn store, people come in, they need money, so they sell something that they don't realize it has value to it. Like this one person went to a yard sale and brought in this thing from the yard sale. They paid dollars and cents for it, and they wound up getting hundreds of dollars because of the value of it. It's amazing. It really is amazing. That's why a lot of people, when they buy these really old houses, old property, like back in the 1800s and so forth, they had the outhouse or whatever. And back in the day, the people in the outhouse, they didn't want somebody to throw it into the outhouse, down with all the stuff in the bottom, right? And over years, obviously, all that stuff turns into dirt and, crumbly stuff. And people who buy homes will go in there, obviously with, protection, whatever, and go through all the old, 100-year-old, crap and so forth, and they'll find stuff, magazines, newspapers, pottery, things like that, and it's worth money.
They also say you should go through your attic every once in a while because you'd be surprised what you find that you don't want that somebody will pay you because they want. Yeah. But then there's that other pawn shop show with the father and the son and daughter. I can't remember the name. The daughter's name is Ashley. I can't remember the name of their show.
We'll have to check it out.
But I'll find it. I'll look it up and find it. I just, for the life of me, I can't remember the show right now. But
so did you see what Schumer did?
No, what did Schumer do? Tell me.
Schumer doesn't like the name Big Beautiful Bill. So he said if they have nothing else to say about this, the one thing they are going to do is change the name of the bill. And they found this law from 1974 that stated that the name of bills have to be short, and it's called the Byrd Rule. So they were able to, at the very end, change the name Big Beautiful Bill to the Act. That's what the name of the bill is at this point, the Act.
Well, that has to be passed by, I believe, a majority of both houses. And if anything, that's just another attack from Schumer to keep the thing from passing. But I read that it's already passed the Senate. So he's just blowing smoke if that's true. And if it's passed the Senate, that means it's already passed the House. Because this is the pecking order. Normally it goes to the House, who sends it to the Senate, who may send it back to the House with changes, who may send it back to the Senate to approve it, and then send it upstairs to the White House.
Did you hear what? Did you hear what saved the bill besides J.D. Vance casting the?
Yes. No, I heard that JD did cast the
But did you hear what?
vote in the Senate.
But did you hear the last vote that made it a tie-breaking vote? Did you hear what made that individual vote yes instead of nay? It's the person's Republican.
Yep.
She was going to be a nay, but she was convinced to be a yay. Do you know who it was?
Probably Susan Collins from Maine.
Nope.
But no, who?
Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska.
She's always on the list of.
She was promised all kinds of things for the citizens of Alaska, and that's what made her vote yay for the bill.
Well, politics is a dirty game.
It is. It always has been.
Get your votes however you can, but in the Senate, I figured it was going to be a party line vote. Anyway, it was going to be 50 Republicans against the 50 Democrats, and Mr. Vance was going to have to break the tie. So I knew that meant that it was going to pass.
Have you seen his movie about him as a kid?
Whose movie?
J.D. Vance.
No, I have not. But
you have to watch it. You have to watch it because when you see the movie, hold on.
No, I have not.
When you see the movie,
how long is it? How long?
An hour and a half. It's an hour.
No, yeah. Don't play all.
No. I'm not playing it now.
Okay.
I'm saying for you to watch it.
Okay.
But when you watch it, it's sad. You know, the thing where he's at now to what he had to go through as a kid, and then when he was in college, he lived down south, right? And I love the South, but a lot of them live in trailers. A lot of them live poorly and so forth, and they have their ways, and usually you'll find the entire family on the same block, okay. And this poor kid got bounced between his mom and his grandparents, his and his friends, and his mom was a drug addict, a really, really bad drug addict, and where he had to take care of his sister and so forth, and his sister took care of him. You have to watch the movie. My wife watched like 3 times. She kept hounding me to watch it. And I finally gave in to make her happy. And I sat through the whole damn thing, and I couldn't believe what he went through. And that was when he was running for election for vice president. And here he is now, vice president, second in line to be president of the United States. And to see what he went through, God has mysterious ways. But right now on Facebook, we're looking at 17 people watching us. Okay,
good. I'm glad. I don't.
18 people now watching us.
They're watching us. They're not in the live chat, or else
it says 18 views.
Okay, so there are 18 people watching. If you come into the live chat and take part in the wait a minute, it's live. But if you go into the live chat, it starts at the beginning. It will take it a minute because it says it was live, but it's loading the wrong one, which is why I'm not seeing the. On my end, it's loading the wrong one, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not seeing, or maybe it'll update. Again, that tablet's old too, so it's running behind. But anyway, let me go over here and watch it and look on my handy phone, which is much faster at doing things I needed to do. And I will see.
Here we are. Here we are. We are live on YouTube, my friend.
We are live on YouTube. It's a pain in the rear end to find it because you get to the
Yeah, I
channel
found
and
it.
then
Yeah,
you have to go all over the channel to try to find the one that is live.
yeah.
I'm going to talk to YouTube to try to figure that out. Or I will grab the YouTube link and put it up so that you can go right to it. And when we go live, little things that we will do just to make your morning that much easier, your
Yeah.
night that much easier too. We're live Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, or Tuesday, Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And anyone is welcome to come into the live chat and ask for the link, and we will bring you on.
Quick question.
One of these days, we should bring Claudette on, because if she's a strong Republican, maybe. Hey, we're live on YouTube.
Yeah, that's
Fancy
YouTube.
that.
34 subscribers.
Yep, 34 subscribers, of which don't really watch that often. They either watch it on Facebook or they watched it once and subscribed and never came back. But I'm going to work on that. Larry Estes just popped in on my screen. Good morning to you, Larry.
Pull this up. This way.
I have to wait. I have to wait for it to get over here on the restream. Jane O'Malley is here.
Right.
Good morning, Patriots. Glad to have you guys watching.
I need to figure out why I can't see you on my Colonel Randall Rhodes
I don't know.
name, because I have to go to my iPads. That's the only way I can see you is go to my iPads and then log out and log in under my wife's account, and now I can see you. I don't know why that is, but it is. But I can see you. That's all that matters. So, have you heard the news about?
End up with a desk full of all
screens.
The equipment you need, with extra screens to have all the screens that you want. Yeah. Go ahead.
Let's see, now we're on.
Oh, William Grant just popped in.
Now we're on.
So awesome.
Okay. Anyways, so have you heard about President Trump's new windfall?
He's entitled to Elon Musk's bank accounts if he
that'd be a hell of a windfall too. If
doesn't deport him, I'll keep you here for giving me all your billions.
Yeah. I won't deport you, but I want half your money, or at least the first trip on your
ship. Yeah, I won't deport you, but I want half of your money.
Yeah. No. So you remember he had that lawsuit against CBS and Paramount because of the way they were.
$60 billion or something like that.
Yeah, you're far off. 16 million.
16 million?
Right. That's what he got.
That must have been what they worked on, because I thought it was something like 60 million.
Yeah, well, he's getting 16 million. Okay. And Trump claims that that's going to help to pay back his attorneys. What's left over is going to. I'm sorry, folks. I have not had my second cup of coffee yet. Some of that money is going to pay off his lawyer fees for that particular fight. The difference is going to go to his library to help pay for his library. And then there's a deal for. Now, maybe you might understand this because you're more from the media than I am. The president has also won more than $15 million more in earned media for both himself and the conservative movement. Does that mean that they have to give him $15 million of free advertising?
If that's within the deal, yeah. But
so then essentially he got essentially he got $31 million.
Good.
Yeah, good. So yeah.
And knowing him, he will do the right thing with it. And this one is not. I don't know why This one is not. If I click on the broadcast on
So
my
his legal
screen,
fees was $1 million. So that means 15 million is going to his
there.
library. Um, I still like to know how they're going to put that airplane into a library. That's going to be a
Oh,
tight
well,
squeeze.
they'll just build it around it.
Oh, or hey kids, a free ride in the airplane. Everyone jump
Yeah,
on board. You get
yeah. They'll just
where's
build
your
it
token
around
for
it.
the free ride?
There's a restaurant here in Jacksonville, Mellow Mushroom Pizza, and
Ew.
they built one. They have an old fire engine in it, and I'm assuming they drove it in and parked it, and and built the building around it, or there must be doors hidden somewhere that they used to drive it in.
Okay.
Anyway, we're live on my profile, live on the Boogie YouTube channel with Randy Rhodes and I. All roads lead to Randy edition on
Goodness,
Wednesday.
I heard
Having
you.
a good time and hoping we don't mess up too bad.
Yeah, trying to
And
track
again,
out the
anybody
jinx.
is welcome to join us if you want. Come into the live chat over on the Bull YouTube channel or the Boogie with the Bull live chat on Facebook on my profile and politely ask for a link and or let me know ahead of time that you want to be on with us, and I will make sure you get the link. It's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, Tuesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. There may be some changes to that in the near future because I don't. I doubt it. I keep saying that there will be some changes, but there won't be. Uh, I'm happy and I enjoy doing this, and it's an hour that I enjoy. And I guess I had to keep playing with it to get it to finally show me the right live chat. Yeah, because on my phone I'm looking at it on my profile and it's showing an old profile, and I'm in an old edition, but I had to go and push the yeah, I had to go and push the Mr. Mega Man picture and get brought into wherever Facebook wants to show you. So you might have to do that if you don't aren't able to watch the real one. But if you're watching, that means and you're seeing it, then that means you're in the right place. But if you, like I said, try to go in and jump into the live chat, it may come up with a was live old one. So get out of that and go back, and you'll see the red ring around my profile. Tap that, and it brings you into the place where you can watch us. I don't know. Facebook is making it more and more difficult, and I'm making it more and more easier. So I don't know who's going to win. Anyway, go ahead, Randy.
I'm sorry, I'm just quickly responding to someone here. It's just gonna be a moment.
Okay.
Um, then I'll tell you what's going on. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay, and as Randy types away, let's see. I did hear, we have seen a lot of rain lately in people's weather. Very loud
Yes.
thunder. I mean, very loud. You know, I like it, so I will listen to it or even view it when I can because I enjoy seeing the cracks of lightning across the sky. And but be very careful, be very safe where you are. Prayers
Okay.
to everyone, making sure no one gets any damage. If you get any damage, let us know. Or if you want to come on and be live and show us what's happening where you are, that's okay too. Go ahead, Randy.
Yeah. So, around 10 o'clock last night, one of my clients reached out to me, and he said, "Could you find if my third great grandfather was a slave owner?" And that was it, right? No reason or rhyme. So I said, "Sure." I said, "I'll do the best I can." Um, it's kind of weird how all of a sudden I got people asking me to find uh, ancestors who were slaves or to find out if their ancestors were actually slave owners. It's like all of a sudden all these people are asking these questions, which are is very sensitive to me. Because I think it's abhorrent what we did. I think our entire, I hate to say it as a genealogist, but I think our American history, what brought us to where we are today, our history is abhorrent. All the things that we did
Mhm.
to make this country what it is. Um, Hopefully we learned from our past, but so far we haven't done a very
No.
good job of it. And
Well,
uh, oh wow, uh, our soldiers were under attack at 6 o'clock this morning by 300. Wait a minute, it's old. No, I forget that's old. I hate
okay.
that. They they know I like history, and they'll give me these pieces of history from back in the day, but you gotta look for the dates.
Yep.
Anyways, so yeah, so slavery is one of them, and it makes me sick to my stomach, especially like I mentioned before. I was working for Ancestry a few years ago,
Yep.
and I got this one phone call, and the lady was looking for her great great grandmother, and she, the lady was, well, said I'm black, so I'm pretty sure she was a slave, but could you help me find her? And I told her, I said, the best way to find your descendants is to your ancestors to look in the stockyard ads of the newspapers back in the day,
Yep.
because that's how your grandparents were sold as a stock.
Yep.
And it made me sick to tell her that. And then she, of course, she was in
Well,
tears. But
the, the other reason is, and I'm going to say this, and it's going to be rude. The the future generations that were not slaves think that we who come from a bloodline that might have included masters or owners at one time owe them a reparation. And you know what? I'm not paying your reparation. Okay. I'm not paying your reparation, but my income isn't taxable anyway, so I don't give the government a portion of my income unless that changes all of a sudden. But I'm not paying a reparation to you who wasn't a slave. Because if I'm going to pay you a reparation because you're related to a slave, then I'm going to keep the reparation I was going to give you and pay me for not being an owner, but being related to one.
and it's not just that. Uh, Talking about slavery, it wasn't just black folks who were slaves. It was white folks as well, primarily Irish for some reason. I know they came over as slaves from Ireland, because during that time Ireland was having a huge a mass starvation because of their crops failing. So they didn't have the money to make the trip to the New World. So they indentured themselves to someone who was wealthy to be their, it's like a slave, but not quite like a slave. You're treated a little bit better. Um, but when you got to the New World, and you promised 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years of your service to this guy, uh, and then he decides, at 4 years and 11 and a half months, hey, you know what? You didn't do a very good job. I'm going to add on additional blah, blah, blah years, and you're going to be stuck with me. They
Yeah,
had they did that as well. Look at the Chinese. I mean, the Chinese, for whatever reason, were used to help build the roads, the railway system across the West. Uh, they were essentially slaves. Um, it's a shame that you have a few powerful men who held the purse string, who was able to hire the thugs, and that's what they were, thugs, to keep people in line and force them to work. Um, to a certain extent, look at your chain gangs. primarily during that time frame, all the prisoners were black. So they were forced into forced labor, again, primarily on, putting down road tracks. And uh, That's how you got your railroad system going across the country. We did horrible things as a white race.
We did.
Um, and so if we're going to do reparations to anybody, it should be to everybody, because we screwed everybody over for the land, and for the rights to water and so forth. It's just horrible. But yeah, so he reached out to me last night at 10 o'clock, and um, about trying to find out if his third great grandfather was a slave owner. What I did was I spent like 30 minutes while I was kind of half awake. I did find out that his third great grandfather he lived and died in England, so he never made it to the New World. So it's going to be a little bit harder to try and track down slave owners in England, because they really weren't around that much in England. So I'll track it down and see what happens. But I'm not quite sure why he wants to know this, but maybe something came up in conversation. I don't know. But yeah. So let's see what else is going on in the
What
world
else
today.
is going on in the world?
Do you really think anyone's going to face jail about this whole auto pen thing, or the now that we've proven that the 2020 election was stolen? Do you think anyone's going to spend any kind of time in prison?
I don't think just based on that. I think if they can prove other abuses of their position, then maybe that might happen, or maybe it might be a judge that says, "Hey, look, you screwed the American people. You're guilty of that. Uh, I could put you in jail for 150 years based on what you did, but you know what? I'm going to give you 150 years of probation." And I wish we would stop playing the game of the Democrats serve for 4 years, a Republican comes in for 4 years, and all we do behind the scenes is look for everything the other one did wrong and reasons to throw them in jail or hang them, because hanging is a permanent sentence. If you hang a person and then find out that person is innocent, what are you going to do? Dig them up and tell them that they weren't guilty? I mean, you're going to bury them in a prison graveyard.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy coming on and talking about all of this stuff, and hope other people do too. But realistically, if we got past and understood and accepted and held hearings and learned all of the accurate evidence, that should be enough in some cases. The pardons, there are a question that his pardons to his family were illegal. The preemptive ones and the blanket one that Hunter got are illegal, that a president doesn't have supposedly the authority to do that. So, he's guilty. Then you got the auto pen thing. He's going to be guilty because he was the president, I would imagine. And what are you going to do to an 84-year-old guy? You're going to send him, whatever it is, send him to prison for the rest of his life? I mean, you did bad. Don't do it again. You make sure the Democrats don't do it again. There should be watchdog groups that are watching both parties to make sure they don't do what they're not allowed to do. I mean, that's what I think. And then life would just be easier because we go about life. We would finally get to a point where we hopefully have weeded out the bad, corrupt senators, the bad, corrupt House members. We brought in fresh blood, and we're back to doing what we're doing. I still believe that Justice Katani Jackson should be either voted off by the majority of the other justices. The Chief Justice would have to break a tie because I think there's only nine. There's nine of them total, including him. So he might have to break a tie. Uh, and you know, when you have a justice nominee who, in the hearing with Ted Cruz, could not say what a woman is, yet she's a woman, that tells me we got probably a DEI justice, and DEI's gone. So I don't know if she should be gone. But go ahead, Randy.
I was trying to figure out what just happened, but apparently Trump once again lost two back-to-back rulings on deportation. This poor guy cannot catch a break for anything.
Okay, go ahead.
So I wonder, because I thought for sure that the Supreme Court authorized him to do the deportation, and that the local court systems can't say anything
Well,
about it.
the 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 local court system may be able to uh, to 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 say he is guilty and he can't do it anymore, but that should only mean he can't do it in that area that said no. Uh, uh, that's part of the problem too. Is these nationwide decisions made by, say, a justice in Maryland who is making his decision effective in all 50 states, and he can't do that. And if they would stop doing that, or we would nail a bunch of them and make them stop doing it, it would make others stop doing it, and a lot of this problem will go away. Other than we have Donald John Trump, who is the current president of the United States. The Democrats didn't like him when he won in 2016. They made sure he lost in 2020, and in 2024 they brought him back with a resounding majority, helped by other people that aren't Republicans either. But and he is doing what he said he was going to do. He's going slowly about being able to do it because every time he does something, somebody says you can't, or a judge says you can't do that. So I mean, I don't really want to hear that anymore. Where was the judge in the United States against Abrego Garcia, who was finally brought back to face charges, and then they decided he wouldn't be here when he got sentenced. They were going to deport him before he got sentenced.
So here's a weird one, and folks, if you have a kid in the room, please get them to leave.
In the what?
In the room watching.
Okay, no, go ahead.
A couple of days ago, Kristi Noem was notified by ICE that U.S. Marshals were able to track down and arrest a cannibal and was getting ready to deport him. And they had him securely seated on the plane for the flight back to his homeland when he started eating himself. It was so bad that they had to get him off of the plane and get him immediate medical help.
And a straitjacket, so he couldn't do it.
Oh my God.
But there's the problem. If we had put him in a American jail for his crimes, he would have probably done that here.
He would have been eating the prisoners.
Well, no, they would have put him in solitary, I'm sure, so he's by himself, and
would have ate himself. Good
that's
God.
That's what he would have done. So in some cases, it probably is right to just find these people, put them in front of a judge, the ones that don't belong here and should not be here, send them home. But like I said, when you send a person home, unless you send them to El Salvador, you don't know for sure what's going to happen.
I'm reading through this article. I'm thinking to myself, why in the hell do you have to tell the age of the of Christy Gnome? So in the article, it goes blah 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 blah.
Well,
The 53-year-old gnome, who cares? She could be
well,
103. Why is
well,
that part
but
of the
okay,
story?
because it's one of those things that shows that beauty still weighs in
No,
on a job or just complimentary to a person. Caroline Levitt is like 27 years old, I think, and she's the youngest uh, press secretary we've ever had. People often say, compliment her on her look. Same with Pam Bondi, who's the
well,
attorney
yeah,
general. I think she's the youngest attorney general we've ever had.
I don't know, but part that's weird. I think my personal opinion. I think the guy had 500 words he had to write, and he couldn't think what else to write, so he added those in for his 500.
But they do it for guy on males that they report on too. Like 810-year-old Tom Homan said this. 927-year-old President Trump said this. Or if they really want to get something out to the young, Donald Trump Jr. will step up and speak for his father. So I mean, it's
Oh
just
wow!
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't bother me. I mean, I'm 63 years old. I look like I'm 63 years old. I think like I'm 63 years old. So I don't care, if my age were to get on. Actually, I probably look older because I need to clean myself up now that I have a camera that is clearly showing me, which I will take care of anyway. But
So Del Monte is declaring bankruptcy.
and I would imagine that they'll declare bankruptcy. They'll get assigned a bankruptcy trustee from the court who might, in the long run, be someone who buys them. Because if we don't, the Chinese will try to.
So the company's assets and liabilities are about. This makes no sense. Estimates the company's assets and liabilities at between $1 billion and $10 billion, with them owing money to at least 25,000 people.
Right.
That's a
So
lot
the
of money on money
creditors
too.
were right. Well, in that case, when you're upside down and your bankruptcy is you owe your vendors and other creditors, usually they form a committee that, in theory, takes over the company through with the court's blessings, and they do what they need to do. Plus, I wouldn't put it past George Soros
Yeah.
to mess us up even more, kicking in, arranging the deal with maybe a billion, maybe with the whole 10 billion he could raise, because he doesn't have that much. But I don't know what the Soros fund management holds. But he'll buy it, uh, making us think he's saving it, but us knowing that it will change. But somebody I think would step up and make an offer to buy the controlling percentage. Other than, I hope Bill Gates doesn't do it, because everything that you eat from Del Monte will be wearing a peel
Yeah.
on it, and that scares me.
Yeah, I
Jane
used
O'Malley
to.
is watching. Good morning, Jane.
My family, we used to watch. We used to eat Del Monte all the time, canned vegetables, um, and then because at that point frozen vegetables were too expensive. But now you can get off-brand names on the vegetables, and they taste. Personally, I think they taste better than name brand companies. And I have a couple very big favorites, and my wife constantly buys it. And one of them is the corn.
Yeah.
when she makes the corn. I want to tell you what, it smells like it just came off the cob, and it
Yep.
tastes so damn good.
Yep.
It's like, oh my god, I love this. I love this. I love this.
Yep.
Um,
I like
but
the fruit cocktail
yes, yes.
that they make. For some reason, I'm thinking Venetian beans that they used to can at one time because my mother bought from from the top brands. She didn't buy anything generic until a manager of a grocery store she shopped at said would tell her what brand the generic actually was. Then she bought the generic only because she had to save money raising 5 kids and a husband and a Saint Bernard and whatever else. But
This is nuts.
he wasn't much of a vegetarian. The Saint
Wasn't
Bernard.
he?
No, no, no. He liked a hamburger when he could get it. He liked a steak every once in a while when he could get it. Uh, we made the mistake that everybody makes. We fed him chocolate cake for his birthday, and
Oh, you don't chocolate. Oh my god, yes, chocolate is
well,
very bad.
some people say it's very bad. Some people say it's okay. So it's you have to decide what should be okay and what isn't okay, and or learn from the right people what is okay and what isn't okay. Uh, but
That's nuts. Um,
yeah.
so, what is going on in the world of state of Florida? Did you guys have
Well,
that storm that came through here?
we did. Uh, we did. I know that I think Alligator Alcatraz actually officially opens next month. I thought it was just a joke at the beginning, and people were making memes, but it actually is going to be a legitimate happening. Who's going to end up living there? I really don't know yet.
Well, I
Uh,
hope it's not me.
but I also know that chemtrails have now been banned and will stop it. But then again, who knows if that actually will happen? We're no longer fluoriding our water. Water fluoridation has been turned off.
Well, when you think about, almost every toothpaste now you can buy your choice as to what you want your toothpaste to do for you. We, because of our age, we tend to buy the uh, uh, soft toothpaste, supposed to be good for weak teeth or whatever it is.
Yep.
Then we every now and then we'll buy, the anti-cavity. We buy whatever on fix on sale just to save us some money. Um, but my wife and we're in the habit of doing our teeth 3 times a day, uh, one each time after we eat a meal, uh, and that's what we do. So we might be more harsh on our teeth. I don't know. But I use what's it called? When it's water. Oh frig.
It's so good. It's so good you can't even remember the name of it.
Well, it uses water.
Yeah.
Anyways, so you put water in this bucket in this. Oh damn it! Hold on a second. I hate when my mind doesn't
So
work.
now he's going to go to his bathroom to grab the tube of toothpaste that he uses. We grew up using Crest, uh, and then when it gelled, we used that too. Then some of us went on to AIM, or really, again, basically like Randy
Okay,
said, anything that's on sale.
Interplaque.
Interplaque, I never heard of that one.
So you put water in this part of the device, and it has a little hose, and you have your choices of what kind of spray you want. And you start off with water. I usually use hot water to rinse my mouth out. And then it has a little brush that you like a toothbrush. You uh, uh, change it out with. And you use toothpaste and you brush your teeth with the water. Uh, Personally, I think it makes my teeth whiter. Believe it or
Yeah.
not. Um, and So that's how I do mine. Now my wife doesn't. She uses these damn cheap ass toothbrushes, and I always ask her why. She always tells me why, but uh, I
Those are cheap ass toothbrushes.
yeah, probably. But yeah, it's I guess it's her personal choice that she wants something like that, and that's just I'm like I've tried changing it for her. I said, look, just try it, just try it, and she won't just try it. It's like okay,
Yep.
it's up to you. It's your teeth, not mine, for God's sake. And Lord knows at our age, we can't afford to lose too many teeth.
That is a true statement. I'm not kicking you off. I'm just saying that it's an hour. So if you have to
Yeah.
go, I know I have things that we have to go take care of.
Yeah,
And,
actually, I should because this guy wants me to
okay.
find this out of his. I did while I was on here. I apologize for, uh,
No, do
but
what you
I
do
was
behind
working
the
on it.
scenes.
I
Yep.
was working here, and I did find out that the individual that he's asking about was a Confederate soldier. So there's probably a pretty good chance she was also a slave owner. So I'll verify that for him. I'm not sure
Okay.
why he was interested in it, but what I was just thinking about doing is backtracking all my clients and seeing if I can see how many were slave owners. Let's just do a series of shows about
Okay.
slave owners.
Yeah.
Um, Work on something like that. Anyways, it was
Your
great.
your
Uh,
shows your shows run when? I was going to make
Not
sure
yet.
to plug
I
your
don't have.
shows. Okay.
I need to. I got. I'm working on the music. I did
Yep.
find out last night because my general reached out to me. He wanted a. He has he created a. He wrote for himself a Christian song about the South, and he wanted me to put music to it, which I did, and it really turned out really good. Then I wanted to do something again. I said, "Whoop, nope, you've done your 5 songs today. You have to wait." So supposedly I had to wait 24 hours to be able to do more free music. Otherwise, just $8 to join up.
Yep.
$8 ain't that bad. So if I can't get more free music today, I'll just spend $8 and do it that way. But it's a great thing. So I'm getting the music down. I want to get the content together. I want this to come off looking as professional as I can. Uh, Thank you. Um, so Gene
That's why I'm
O'Malley,
here.
that's
That's
why
why I'm
you're
here.
here. Yeah. One of these days we'll actually start on time. I'm
Well,
not
one of
sure.
these days we will actually start on time. As far as the beginning tagline that I always throw in, one of these days I might get it right. That will probably stay there just because I think it gets everybody laughing, and
Uh,
it makes me laugh because
well, my,
I should remember how to do it each day, and some
well,
days I don't.
and lucky for me, I can reel it up and we can play it that way as well.
You can, you can, you can,
So
you
before I
can.
jump off here, I have this friend of mine who also creates music using the same app. Um, so the music is great for inside of a show, but
Mhm.
not for a prequel to the show like you have like we play for yours.
Well,
So he asked me, what do I want in it? So I told him, different things I would like to see. So he's going to create it for me. But if it turns out to be too much like yours, I'm probably going to nix it because I don't want you thinking I'm stealing
no, you're not.
your.
No, 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 no.
No, 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 no,
Right,
no, no.
right.
We need to
No,
get yours
you
up. Add my name to it though.
you make.
All right.
I don't know because that will create problems that we don't really want to get into because like I said, everyone knows I didn't make mine. It was given to me. I didn't even ask for it as far as I remember. And I might have been talking about wanting one and it all of a sudden showed up one day and
I think
I'm
it's
just
cool.
I'm not right. And I appreciate that it was done, but no, for anyone else, for anyone to take it and change it and make it their own, I'm going to say no because my understanding would be that I own the copyright to it, and I'm not going to give it. I'm not going to give permission.
No, that's
Plus,
what I said.
you should go and make your own anyway.
That's what I said. He asked me what I want in it. So I did send him what yours looks like. I said, well, something along
Mhm.
that line, something jazzy, something snazzy.
Yep.
Obviously, the title of the show and me and so forth. So let's see what
Yeah.
if he's able to do it. So let's see what he creates. And before I make use of it, I'll show you so you see what it looks like, and get your blesses on it, and
Yeah.
we'll
Oh,
go
you
from there.
free to do whatever you want to do. But I did look around Sunu uh, briefly yesterday. I liked what I saw, and if you're looking to make your own music, it's like Randy said. You type in a few words, or maybe a little more, but you type in a few words of what you're thinking, and boom, it makes a song for
Yeah.
you. And if you get to hear Randy's General Mosby, I forget the rest of it in the name, but if you get to hear the one about General Mosby, I think you'll like it, and it will give you an idea of what you can do. But it's all AI, so go in there and look
Yep.
around and tell it. I said, give it 3 words or few words, and then sit back and give it time to let it make its change. It is Sunu, SUNO.com. The link is right there on the screen, SUNO.com. And take a look around and see what you like. And even if you're not looking to make an intro for a broadcast, you probably will enjoy making your own playlists.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I am a creature of YouTube music, but I usually play the same stuff all the time. But the idea of being able to make up my own stuff and store it somewhere and listen to that whenever I want is of interest to me too. Plus, I want music. I want something for the outro for the end of the broadcast too. But anyway, Randy's got to go. I
Yep.
got to go.
Yep.
And
Let's see where we're at here.
you want to do it, or you want me to do it?
I want to do it.
Okay.
It was great, guys and
It
gals.
was.
James, thanks for joining us. I'm not sure how long it took you to find us, but we're here.
It was a Facebook error that glitched that
Yeah,
I don't know. It all of a sudden corrected itself, and it does that sometimes.
it does. But today, Dave, you cleared up. The
I
acne
did.
all went away. You're looking good. The
Yep.
skin nice and fresh, baby. Baby
Yeah. Yeah.
baby ass fresh, skin soft.
Casper the Friendly Ghost didn't like me and spit me up. So,
Yeah. Yeah, with that, folks, I'm
but
going to
anyway,
say I have 3 openings on my calendar, folks. If you want to do your research of your family, I am phenomenal. I am
yep,
very
you are.
cheap. I do great work. I have a lot of referrals. If you need
Yep.
referrals,
Oh, I
all
will
of them are here on Facebook.
a flowing one, as I have said
Yeah.
before.
So if you're looking for, I do a 15 to 30 minute for free to show you what I can do for you, to show you how fast I can go back in time, and to give you an idea what I can do. So if you're
You
really
will be
interested,
amazed. You will be amazed
yes.
in what Randy is capable of finding. And
And I
if
just
you
did confirm this guy's great grandfather was a slave owner. So
okay,
see how fast that
yep,
was,
yep.
folks. I
And
can do
and if
amazing
you're
things.
one like me who kept running around and pulling at Randy's, slapping the back of Randy's head and saying, "Hey, go find someone who I am actually related to, who is famous," because I feel left out. And one of my grandfathers, who was a rabbi, Saul, long Polish name I can't remember,
Yeah.
was the king of Poland for 24 hours. And one day we'll tell you the story about that.
Yep.
And somehow, I guess with the blessings of God, you can trace King David in my bloodline. And
Now, Randy, what if I know where my family's from and Dunn's still there? Would there be more to find? Yes. I mean, you can go. I've been able to go back into the, believe it or not, 0068 time frame.
yeah,
Uh,
the most information you can give him does, in fact, make his job a whole lot easier.
and one of the things that is that if so, I would need your name, Birth date, city, state, your mom and your dad, if you want both sides done. There are some people who just want the ones. I just want my mom's side. I don't care about my dad. My dad's, I want my mom's side, okay? So, but if you want both your mom and your dad, which is the best way to go, okay? I need their names, birth dates at the least. If they passed away, if you have their death dates, not really required, I'll find that. But if they are both still living,
Yeah.
by law, their information is protected. So I would need to know at least their parents' names at the least. If you have their birth date, death date, that's phenomenal. Not required, but at least their parents or your grandparents' names. And it's amazing how fast the algorithms kicks in, along
Okay.
with pictures and photographs and documents and certificates. Uh, uh, this is no lie, folks. My one client, who happens to be my only Yankee, she lives
Okay.
5 minutes from me. I got back to the year 0068
Wow.
on her family side, her paternal side.
Yeah.
68th great grandfather.
Now
Uh,
you always mention like the 68th great grandfather, but you don't talk about the grandmothers. You don't
well, what
talk
happens
about
is
the
this:
other
as
relatives.
the further you go back, history, for whatever reason, don't blame me. The history, for some reason, says the woman is not important. It's the man, because we need the offspring to be a male to carry on whatever that family's rights to land is. So the further you go back, you lose the maternal. Now, is it impossible not to find? No, but it takes time to find
No,
the who
I
he
mean,
married.
it would be great to know that Abraham Glovinsky was the great grandfather of most of us,
Yeah.
but but without Clara, Abraham wouldn't have had any of us, male or female.
And that's and Jane, I would love to find that Grace O'Malley female pirate. That would be phenomenal. Like I
Okay.
said, you give me this is I hate myself because I never hold to it. I always say give me 15 to 30 minutes. I'll show you how much I can find. But you know what? What happens is I get excited. This is why my rates are so and I can discuss rates, but
Yeah.
it's below
No, I
$100,
know.
okay?
Right. Right.
But I get so excited because I see what I'm seeing, and then
Right.
I start seeing pictures. And next thing I know, I'm 3 hours into it for free, right?
Yep.
And a couple of times I gave too much information away. Oh, thanks, Randy. I found out what I wanted.
Well,
Have a great day. I'm not paying you a dime.
what
That
we may
happens, but
do if you find people who are interested is we'll do an hour and invite them to be with us if they can, and or be in the live chat, and
yeah.
we'll
And it's not that I
turn you
use
loose to give
12.
you their results.
And folks, I use over 12 different services to confirm information, because when I find something damn exciting, it's like, no, really? Dave's related to this guy? No way in hell. And I'll go a couple extra steps to find documentation. Oh shit, he is, or whatever. I don't just stop at the first flag that says,
Right.
"Hey, this person is this person's relative." I don't do that, and we just
Right.
froze.
We did. We did. I'm
We
not
just
sure.
froze. Ba, ba,
I'm not
ba, ba.
sure. I'm not sure what triggered that, but
Okay,
no,
but
there you
anyway,
did.
so we froze. But Jane, reach out to me.
Yeah.
I'll show you. If you want to, we can do it. Oh, there. Hey, we get. I can share my screen, show you what it looks like. I use 12 to 13 different services. A lot of time, what happens is I get so far back that I start using British
Yeah.
documentation. I get so far back that photograph becomes paintings. And when it comes to paintings and photographs, there we froze again. Um, what happens is I want to confirm that picture is actually that person. So I use Google Lens, which with a matter of microseconds will confirm that person's is really that person. So I don't just take bits and pieces. I make sure everything I give is accurate and so forth. So I'm surviving, we're freezing up, but Jane, reach out to me. We can talk, and I can show you what my magic can do for you and your family. And July 4th is coming up. It'd be a great talker
It
around the
would be.
campfire.
It actually, it would be.
So with that, folks, I'm going to say,
Au
au
revoir.
revoir.
Okay.
See,
All right,
au
Randy.
revoir.
Let's see.
Oh, and one last thing. One last thing. My one client, Shane Melvin, he has some books coming. His one ancestor came from
Ooh,
Canada into the New World, and then it came to Alabama, where he finally settled. And the University of Alabama is teaching archaeology to kids, and they create this cartoon book, which happens to be of my client's
cool.
ancestor. It is historically correct. When I get them, I'll show them to you guys. It's amazing what I can
Very
find.
cool. Okay,
Take
Randy.
care.
Thank you. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. till 8 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern. Okay.
Yep,
All right.
Yep. If I can get off.
You're still here. Well, then I might have
Yeah,
to do.
kick me out.
Oh, come on. I would never do that intentionally, but oh, there. Okay. All right. So it's Boogie with the Bull, as I said, for the umpteenth millionth time that I'm going to go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern on my profile and the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel.
You won't kick me out.
Tuesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, my profile, Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel 2. You might see a lot of technical glitches here and there throughout the whole thing, and you may try to kick somebody off and it brings them back. So we'll try that. Okay, there, it worked this time. We're old school. We use whatever we have to do what we do because the information to give out and the fun times are more important than worrying about all of the equipment. And I'm talking to someone who might have some ideas on what to do with the Windows 11 Pro laptop and how to replace it. That may be a while, so don't get too comfortable on that right now. Anyway, like I said, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, and for Thursday Night Live, go enjoy the rest of your day, and we will send